Everybody, happy Friday. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. A live show. Who'd have thunk it? If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Congratulations, everyone. You've done another week. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Pat yourself on the back. And obviously, we're on the road to London Stadium for our first Premier League fixture this season at LS as we take on our West London rivals, Chelsea. That's not Tommy, that's it. Keep an eye. Obviously, we did an interview with Scott Minto, which we put up. We did it last night, actually. We put it up this morning talking about the game. Scott's great. You know, Scott is a really good pundit. He's obviously, I think he's, at the moment, I've just seen the fattest pigeon walk across my. I've just seen the fattest pigeon in my life. That's really taking me aghast. But yeah, Scott, I think he's in the air now. He's flying to Malaysia today to cover the game for Astro Sport. But yeah, check that out. Really good. Really good chats here. We've got the chats, and then we'll do our Russy Rumour roundup with the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating. Toby, good afternoon to you. Narky's in the chat. Was Paqueta and Moyes signing because it's likely and rare for us to make a transfer profit on a player? 90% he's staying now, according to Sky Sports. Sad to see him go if he does not. There we go. As I said, he apparently 90% likely to stay. I really want to see Paqueta and Alvarez play together. I reckon they could link up well. I think, and I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, at the moment, we've got 3 into 4, haven't we, really? In that, you've got Souček, who's just on a 4-year deal, Alvarez, JWP, and Paqueta. So, who doesn't play on Sunday? I think, personally, and we'll do our predicted 11 on Sunday morning, but I think Alvarez doesn't get the nod just yet. I think he's still probably not match fit. JWP is. I think JWP comes in, moves Paqueta up, and Fornals gets dropped. That's just my opinion. Danny, hope you're well. Looks like Paqueta could be off. Yep, by the sounds of it. According to top insiders, it reveals that confidential issues have stopped Man City from going further. So I wonder if they've added up all the numbers and thought, shit, we actually, you know, Paqueta's not really a priority for us. You know, we can put someone else in there, but we need, you know, Doku maybe to replace Mahrez, for example. And we can't afford them and Paqueta and get absolutely done for the FFP. I don't know. I hope West Ham sign Kudus in time for Bryson game. That's next week, isn't it? We'll talk about that in a minute. Need to try and sign him ASPP. Mavropanos looks like it's going to happen. Yep, I think so. Afternoon, Tasman. Cyril Hammers in the chat. Kudus, Alvarez, Paqueta. Okay. Alvarez, JWP, Kudus, Lingard, Paqueta, Bowen, new front line looks awesome to me. That's a good point, actually. Thinking about it, there's another option. In terms, if you know, think about Kudus as well. He's an attacking player, but he can also play on the right as well. And the talk is that Bowen's being pushed up more up front. If that's the case, that sort of moves everyone around one, doesn't it? Alan, good evening to you, sir. So, saw the low score drawing and coming. Indeed, all the news seems to be Paqueta do off now. Also, just playing devil's advocate, as I like to do, David. Maybe the news has been leaked by West Ham, maybe to force Man City's hand, because they'll look silly, you know, if they've pulled out after putting. I don't know. I'm just, you know, again adding 2 and 2 together, coming up with 5. Toby, like the Minto interview, good. Spend the channel. I hope Paqueta now not going to Man City doesn't prevent us from signing Kudus. I don't think he does, but it might. But the thing is, regardless of whether he doesn't go this summer, he'll go next summer because he's obviously Paqueta's. Minimum transfer release of 85 million comes into play next summer. It incentivizes him to have a good season with us because obviously you'd want maybe 2 or 3 clubs bidding for him for the 85 million, and he has his choice rather than maybe he should not be named the number 41. He had one option. City weren't really in for him, were they? But yeah, he had one option being Arsenal. But we'll see. Good afternoon, Stephen. Loads of people here. Feeling positive now, not for Sunday. Sean's here. Scott's here, 5:30 in the morning. Fair play, son. As long as confident mean he's done something dodgy, that ain't good. Yeah, good. Papa Smurfs in the chat. Good to see. He must get kudos. Was key for us. Him and Alvarez will be amazing. I'm actually feeling positive. Jesus, Ralph. Take a chill pill, man. Any news on the backup left back? Not yet. Is there any left backs we covered today? Don't think so. I reckon team will be unchanged. We'll see JP off the bench. Maybe. I think you'll see JP is more likely to start than Alvarez, in my opinion. I hear we've done some groundwork. What the others agreed with, but we're low balling on the first off. It's frustrating. Big Hammer being the close. Hopefully we get it right. We'll see. Oh my God, so many people. Evening, Mikey. Hope you're well. I'm just skipping, so apologies, I've missed some of you. Avidly reading all the rumours while stunning myself. Well, in the Pyrenees, very nice too, mate. Very nice too. It's a drizzly, muggy day in Hornchurch today. With Mrs. Budden and Flo flying off to Portugal. Actually, they'll be landing in a minute. So that'd be nice. If Paqueta's 85 next year, are taking the piss coming in with an offer of 70. Not really, Taz. They might see if we take it now, innit? Take it or leave it. Give it a go. Ariola distribution is like Antonio's pace, a myth. Wow. Heard Paqueta's dodgy shoulder could be a reason. Pulled out. Maybe. Good shout. Yeah. Like the idea of the Greek idea of him arriving, all is up in the air, confusing us. No, maybe. Oh, we know it's all up in the air. Scary. We know that. Right. Okay. As we do, I'm looking forward to seeing Souček this year without the former skipper's shackles. Well, I mean, to be honest, he had his best game for years, I thought. Souček against Bournemouth. Absolutely, I thought he was fantastic. Oh, it was a really good game. And now we're all back from holidays. You're going to get all the content again. You're going to get the match day. You'll get the watch-alongs. You get the match day mornings. You're going to get the reviews. You're going to get the ratings. We're back to full complement now. I don't think anyone else is going on holiday now. Although Holly's going to have a baby at Christmas, but there we go. Right, so what we do, Russy Rumour Rating, the original Rumour Rating, we bring to you the latest rumours that have been swirling around the West Ham network, as well as all the news channels and stuff. We've been scouring them for you. You don't have to sit, if you're sitting on holiday in the Pyrenees, you can just listen to us for the next 45 minutes, and we go through a raft of new updates. Interestingly, we've hit 153 players we've been linked with after today's show. There we go. A new record, 23 more than last year. So let's talk about Kudus. Let's talk about Mohammed Kudus. Now, we know from several reliable sources that Stidham was out in Ajax, was in the Netherlands, talking to, apparently talking to Kudus's agents and party, and by all accounts, according to Sport 1 journalist Patrick Berger, hopefully not he might have been a former Liverpool player, but I don't think so. He reported yesterday that West Ham have agreed personal terms with him, and are now preparing a 35 million bid for the Ghanaian international. A bit similar to what we did with Alvarez. We agreed terms with Alvarez before we agreed terms with Ajax, but obviously they weren't pissed off of us doing that last time, so they've done it. We're doing it again. Now, obviously, he was close to signing for Brighton, and that sort of collapsed. But apparently, he's looking ever closer. We did a little profile about him yesterday, I think. Very, very tricky player. I'm sure on Twitter there's a whole raft of 6-minute clips of him just looking like an absolute baller. The slight fly in the ointment for me is AFCON. Is a Ghanaian international, and I'd imagine that Ghana, I haven't checked, have qualified for the AFCON, so you'd lose him for a month, same as Igerd and Benrahma. So I'd personally prefer maybe us to get a European-based player. But I suppose Fornals are coming to do the job there, couldn't he? Traditionally, the majority of his games for Ajax has been playing sort of a attacking mid, central mid. He has played a number of games up front as well, particularly in his early days before he's moved to Ajax. But he has been playing on the right-hand side as well, so a majority of positions. Check that out, actually. It's really good. Just to give you an idea in terms of who the player is. The Russy Rumour Rating, the original Rumour Rating, I'm confident in this one. He's getting an 8 out of 10 from Russy B. He is getting an 8 out of 10 from Russy B. So there we go. Let's see and get some comments from you guys in terms of your thoughts about Kudus. Let's have a quick look here. Kudus to Kudus. I think he'll be actually a replacement for Scamacca or even Antonio, but not Paqueta. I would agree. My only issue is that He doesn't play. He hasn't played loads up front. It's not to say he can't play up front. And we know Moyes. To be honest, and I've said it before, he's the two most successful forwards under the Moyes era have both been converted wingers. And what I think, what we're led to believe is he's trying to get a game of Bowen. And it could be a factor. Maybe they don't want to spend big on a striker. So actually they think Bowen converted to a striker could help. Antonio still be sniffing around. You've got Danny Ings. You've got, you've got Mbama as well. Maybe even playing Kudus, as Dan suggested on our WhatsApp group, as a false nine. So there may be a slight change in how we consider our forward position, what our forward position is. But I agree. I don't think he's a direct replacement. I don't think he's a replacement for Paqueta. And by what we're led to believe, it's irrespective of the Paqueta deal. So we'll see. We'll be a watch along, hopefully. Obviously, I'll be at the game. I'll be doing a match day morning, Sunday morning, and Anton should be around doing a watch along, I'd imagine. If we get Kudus and keep Paqueta, what does that? Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of competition for places. And what does that mean for Fornals? What does that mean for Ben Rama? There's certain positions where I think, it's definitely a changing of the guard. Definitely. Let's go for a few of these comments. 4-2-3 on Paqueta is a 10. Kudus up 10. I don't think he'd be up front. I think he'd play. To be honest, he could even play on the left. I know he plays on the right, but he likes to cut inside naturally. So actually, he does play. Has played right quite a bit. But if you see some of the clips, he drifts out onto the left. I could probably see him coming out and playing on the left. The fact is, we've been looking at people like Carlos Borges and stuff like that, haven't we, before? And so it'll be interesting to see. Will Antonio be heading out? Who knows? As I said, Saudis, several deals for Saudi clubs, none of the PIF clubs though. So don't know. Cyril, hope you're well, my friend. Heard the club put a low ball offering. Doesn't surprise me at all. Thoughts on the new? We're going to talk about him in a minute. If one now starts getting dropped from now on, then I'm going to go Chicken Oriental. Well, I think you might be going Chicken Oriental, mate. He's more likely to go Ride White and Bone up top. Yep, agreed. I don't think. Right, let's have a check. Let's have a check. Because it's a consideration. It is a consideration. AFCON 2023. Which countries qualified for AFCON? Let's have a look. Well, while we're here, I'm doing it. Have they all been confirmed yet? Let's have a look. They haven't even been confirmed yet. But that hasn't been drawn yet. Where's the teams? It's very dodgy, this whole thing. I don't understand it. Right, okay. Ghana. Doesn't look like it, actually. Ivory Coast, Morocco, Algeria. So you'll lose those three. Those are the three countries we'll lose. We'll lose Cornet, we'll lose Ben Rama, and we'll lose Aged, Senegal, Tunisia, Egypt. No, does not be qualified. So yeah, ignore my point about AFCON. Right. AFCON was my concern because but yeah, ignore it now. Ignore it. Looks like abandoned for final pursuit. Yeah, but again, Scott, one of these things is if he was as good as we thought he was going to be, as people say he is, why is he just going to Forest? Why is it Forest who are after him? Why isn't Liverpool after him? Liverpool are crying out for a centre midfielder. So why aren't they putting money on him? That's the thing that worries. If he's that good, he'd have been snapped up already. When it's not like a secret. It's a French international, but there has to be a reason why someone hasn't come in from yet. Are they asking for too much money? Is he asking for too much money? There's got to be something there in my eyes. Scott thought we had anyway. Yeah, we had. Let's move on and talk about who's next because I can't remember because I did this last night. We've got here he is, Jay Lings, the man, the myth, the legend. It's looking increasingly likely that he's going to sign a short-term deal with us. Apparently, he's really been impressing in training. According to ex-WHU employee, the club officials are really warm to the idea of offering him a short-term deal. X reported on yesterday that the deal may be closer now to ever to be completed. He also has claimed that it's Noble. He's going to be an important part in this deal. It's going to be Noble's role in ensuring the 30-year-old lives up to expectations of the club. He was quoted saying the third transfer reported was Lingard. Martin Noble will be important in trying to get the player to settle and perform to the expectations should he sign. So almost like being Lingard's minder, it seems. Which at the age of 30 years old, I think it's fucking embarrassing, don't you? Obviously, he was sensational in the loan spell. And then we trailed him for the best part of 2.5 years. Went to Forest, was an absolute flop. And was led to be believed was treading water for a deal to the MLS. That hasn't materialised yet. And by all accounts, he's been training at Rush Green. He's been impressing as well. They're in Portugal. They've just landed. Let me just text my daughter back. She was very upset. Obviously, I was a bit upset as well. Yay. Straight to the pool. Oh, bless her. So J-Lings, I mean, in terms of the Russy Rumours rating, the original Rumours rating, I'm actually going to give this one a 8 out of 10 because I think it's going to happen. You see the stars aligned. Moyes is one of those players, those managers who loves certain players. And I think, and me and Scott were saying it today, we seemed, if you look at the JWP and you look at Alvarez deal, I know Alvarez was being looked at beforehand, but it's almost like Alvarez was a Steindon deal, JWP was a Moyes deal. If you look at, say, the midfield battle, say, Kudus, I think is very much a Steindon deal. Lingard is very much a Moyes' deal. So it's almost like you give me one, I give you one. Sometimes they meet, and maybe Mavropanos, and we'll talk about him in a minute, but it does seem, and that may be how they found this sort of common ground by giving them one each, which is a recipe for disaster. What we got here. I can see Ings Ante staying, but increasingly sidelined. Me too. We'll play for Kudus. Is away. Ghana haven't qualified for the AFCON, so I don't know how that's going to happen. Liverpool need defensive midfield, not attacking midfield. Fofana can play box to box. He can also play CDM as well. But also, if they really wanted, they could have got some Alvarez in, couldn't they? Really. I'll take Lingard, but we have to do is repair the bridges he burnt. Not even the MLS wants him. Noble babysitting. I know it's ridiculous, isn't it? I bet he gets £100 a week. The only way I think a Lingard deal would happen, which I think would appease a fan base, is doing it on a pay-as-you-play basis or a performance-based basis. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like, give him a massive goal bonus or a massive win bonus, so you incentivize him rather than give him £100 a week. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not going to incentivize him. We'll replace Lanzini. Yeah, I think it's a great. Yeah, probably will. Sheriff of Varto, I mean, seems a good deal, and could do with another DM as gone, but probably a bit pricey for a backup. I totally agree. Particularly also, David, the fact is we've got a lot of good youngsters who we need to. I know you sent them out on loan, but the idea is eventually they'll be coming back. That's a Freddie Potts and people like that. So, we've still got George Earthy, these guys can come in. Connor Coventry still around here. He hasn't gone on loan just yet, but I'm sure he will do. How can you want after mugging us off for nearly 2 years? It's one of those things. I mean, I don't say I haven't welcomed him back with open arms at all, but I just think it's going to happen. That's all. Maybe we gave him back his watch. Not massively pleased with noise about J-Lings. If he does the deal, then fair enough. Jack will be happy because he's got his tattoo back, isn't he? Because he's got a J-Lings tattoo. Apparently, we were keeping it as we can't afford him at the moment. Yeah, that's what I think. Stay Barry, to be honest. GP, hope you're well. Don't think it'd be a bad deal. We need depth. And we need experience. We still need experience. The fact is, he shouldn't have been named the former captain, number 41. He was the talisman. And there's no one who's really stepped up to that sort of role. I think if J-Lings comes in, he would add depth for the squad. I mean, you look at the bench. We've still got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. We've still got Jason Vanang on the bench. We've got people like Connor Coventry. We could get better than that. I'd say J-Lings is a better choice off the bench than Connor Coventry. He would, as you said, I think replace Lanzini. You're probably right there. Guys, if we get 65% of the Lingard we got, it's a good deal, especially for Europe. Totally agree. We'll lose Paqueta next summer. If he's no players to tic-tac with, need to get Kudus done. Imagine Kudus and Paqueta with JWP would be outstanding. I totally agree. And Alvarez as well. I think, Alvarez is going to surprise us. He's a really, really, I think he's going to be a type of player who the fans are really going to take to. Really aggressive. Seems a really nice bloke as well. Seems a really nice bloke. So yeah, we shall see what happens there. Let's move on like Donkey Kong. Let's talk about Eze. Ebenezer Eze. Now, this is a long shot in my opinion, but Anton's rewet himself because this is Anton's boy. And obviously, don't forget there was a chance a few years ago of us either signing Eze or Benrahma. We picked Benrahma. Arguably, Eze would have been the better deal in my opinion. But apparently, we could move for the Crystal Palace midfielder should that we fail in a move to sign a Gen winger, Jeremy Doku, according to the Independent. According to the newspaper, both us and City are in a battle to sign Doku. Also, apparently, I think Spurs and Chelsea are also linked as well for him, and shared that West Ham are focusing their efforts on beating all of them to his signature. But we've still yet to make an official offer. So how does that work out? I don't know. Where Doku, I think he's almost like practically signed for City. But no, we're going to try. And should we fail in our attempts to land Doku, then a move for Eze could well be on the cards. Obviously, he was one of their key players last year, particularly 14 goal contributions, best performer by miles on average match rating. I think it's a step too far for us. Again, someone like Eze is one of those guys who would be a compromise across from Moyes and Steindon. The only thing that would annoy Steindon is the price tag, because he would come with a hefty price. We haven't been quoting any prices yet, but particularly with Michael Alois, who's signed a long-term deal, who's not going to Chelsea now. So I'll be surprised if there's not a release clause in his contract. There was one in Alois's one, wasn't there? £35 million. But yeah, I can't see this one happening. But I'm going to put 50-50 because ever the optimist, ever the optimist, ever the optimist. Right, let's go for some comments. Please, Eze. Yeah, it's not going to happen, mate. I don't think it's going to happen at all. We'll come a centre-back spot. Yeah, good shout. Although we'll talk about a centre-back in a minute. I like Nick's comparison of Lingard as cheating with the ex, but the ex cheating with Hafiz. What's the sometimes that clout of booze boy? Yes, please, even off a Benny for him. Good, interesting. No chance, more chance of Anton doing OnlyFans. Or you say that. If Kudus comes in, Russ, would he replace Benny? I think he would do. Particularly with this whole thing about Paqueta, and what we've been led to believe is it's nothing to do with the Paqueta deal. It's not as a direct replacement. It was regardless of the Paqueta deal. So for me, that means it's a replacement for Benny. He can also play right wing as well. He can also play number 10 if you wanted to maybe drop Paqueta back into that 6 role he likes to play sometimes. It gives you lots of options. I thought Eze said he wanted to come to us. Oh, I don't know. Russ, did you get my email? When did you send it, Darren? And if it's about any of the prizes, I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do it this weekend, so I do apologise. I know I've been meaning to send a load of prizes out, and they will be sent out this weekend. I promise. I'm going to go to the post office and put them in. And if it's about that, then fair enough. Had a drive and listened exclusively to West Ham podcast. That's what I can say. Fair play. And that's the thing, Scott, isn't it? I mean, I did a lot of meetings out in the US, and people say, "Oh, you can come to our office," and I'll be like in New Jersey, and it's in like Philly, and it's like a 150-mile trip, and they don't even think of it like nothing. Do you know what I mean? Where we're like, fuck off, I'm not going that far. Yeah. Crazy the amount of miles that everyone does over there. But I suppose petrol so cheap, isn't it? Let's talk about Cole Palmer. An unfortunate photo there, Russ, you picked. Apparently, we know that City are open to letting Palmer join West Ham, but Fabrizio Romano has said the potential deal sort of gets some idea in terms of how the deal would be structured and when it could be rubber stamped. Obviously, we were attempting. I don't, to be honest, now after today's news, I don't think this deal is going to happen. We were led to believe that this deal was regardless of the Paqueta deal, but I don't genuinely think it is. Obviously, he's been, he's been quite eye-catching to the start of the season already. He's played. I think he's made he played like 120 minutes so far this season, including netted twice, including the equaliser in the Super Cup early this week. Now, Fabrizio has suggested that it's a permanent deal, not a loan deal. I don't think it's going to happen now. I think this deal was dependent on the Paqueta deal, which could be one of the confidential reasons. Maybe he didn't want to go, and it's just I don't know. I've changed my. What did I say? I think I gave him. What did I give him? I gave him a 6 out of 10. Yeah, probably 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give him that. Maybe 5 out of 10 now. What we got? Yeah, we can't buy all these linked players. Where are we going to play them all? Carl, I know we have been linked with 153 players so far. I'm fully aware of this, man. Fully aware of this. Where's Holly's? Many are demanding on 4chan. We've got to set it out. I'll have to have a word with Holly. I'll have a word with Len, see if we can knock one up for her. Do you think Alvarez will start against Chelsea? Good news about Paqueta. I don't think Alvarez will. I think JWP is more likely. But me and Anton are going to debate that for the starting 11 show, which we'll do on Sunday morning. They'll be released Sunday afternoon, rather. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. I think there's going to be a lot of similarities from the game against Bournemouth. But I think there's that. I think Fornells gets dropped. I think Fornells gets dropped and Paqueta goes in. But then why would he do that? I think Fornells gets dropped, and then I think Paqueta gets pushed into the 10 role, and JWP comes in. I think Alvarez is still a week or so at least. I reckon Alvarez is probably back for the Brighton game. I reckon. Regardless if the deal is, I totally agree. We do it over well, Russ, as well. You were such. When I was catering, I used to do 1,000 miles a week. Yeah, but exactly. But like, I think I did like something like 2,500 miles in like a week in along the East Coast, and it was just crazy. Jesus Christ, it's Napoleon Dynamite. Exactly. Vote for Pedro. Very good. Only have Colton Palmer if there's no buyback clause. It was like a young Gareth Southgate. Sent, not about prizes. Sent on Tuesday 2:30. Tuesday 2:30. Tuesday. I wasn't around, so 15th at 2:30. Can't see it there, mate. If you send it to me again, it might have been deleted by mistake, but they wouldn't have done it. But yeah, just send it to me again, mate. I haven't seen it, but I wasn't around Tuesday because we did this sort of whirlwind tour to Disney for Flo. She was performing at Disney. And she was brilliant. Right, who's next? Let's talk about, someone mentioned in the chat already, it's another Borges, another Portuguese midfielder winger. It's the FC Porto winger, Gonzalo Borges. Apparently us and Everton are showing interest in the winger, according to Fabrizio Romano. Obviously we've both been relatively active in trying to close deals in the last few weeks, particularly in the final third options now, it seems. And both sets of eyes have been joined to Portugal for potential signing, with FC Porto man Borges on the radar. It's reported that Borges could be someone the pair tried to get over a deal done before the transfer window slammed shut. He's 20, and this guy is literally like Carlos Borges 2.0 in all honesty. But he's a couple of years older. He's 22. He came from the EU Franks at Porto, highly regarded by the club. He's had minutes. He has had some minutes in the top flight and also Champions League last season, but he's a regular starter for the regular B team. So he's a reserve team player, but he is getting minutes. He has got minutes last year in the Portuguese top flight and also in the Champions League. He's got a contract at Porto until 2027. And as I said, he turned out in the Champions League against Club Brugge, Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, and Inter Milan. this guy, there's something that a couple of these signings now, a couple of these rumours we're talking about now, have Steinton's hands all over them, particularly this one. No, Flo's met someone. Flo met we met Lewis Capaldi the other day. It was really cool. Andy from CPBC. Lol. So random, my daughter at the moment. But anyway, Carlos Borges. Again, this guy to me has got not the wonky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I sees the butcher, the other sees the bacon, isn't it? What we got here? Would prefer Bellis over the Greek, I think. No, not for me. I'll tell you for what we'll get there. Has said it has to be a signing, maybe playing hardball. Can't see it happening. Is the World Cup final in and around London Stadium Sunday? I think it's actually she's funny. So I think actually it's going to be played in some of the some of the sort of bars. I know Orbit Live, I think they've got it before the game. It's like 10 o'clock, isn't it? So I'll be watching it in my little box before we start working. Sorry, mate. Also meant to ask, do you think Moyes will stick Lingard on the bench? Yes. Borges never even played for Porto, and he's 22, so can't be all that. He has played for Porto. Yes, boy. It's 55. Sod that, Russ. What card do you have out there? Did you have out there? Were you cruising in luxury? Just a Ford Cougar. I like a Ford Cougar, but I'm a big fan of cruise control. And it wasn't 55 limit. It was in variable limits. Anyway, I dread to think that this team could have been made if Moyes had his way. The geezer says with United has been. Russo is defo, first class passenger, loves Anton and coach. You said it. Not sure it can't hold down the place. Is up to standard. Thank you. I'll have a read that, mate. We'll sign him again and send him down to 21s. Well, he's 22, so it wouldn't happen. I doubt Anton's allowed to travel internationally. Where's Orbit Live? It was where the supporters club was. So Orbit Live, you have to go on to Twitter. They've got like a membership. It's the last drop. It used to be called. It's the closest bar. But check them out. I'm sure they've got it. No one wants to see Moyes, Mickey, Toby. No one. Can't argue with that. Any more surreal? Right. So there's Oscar Borges. Not Oscar Borges. No. Gonzalo Borges. Another one we've been linked with is. Why isn't that working? There we go. Thank you very much. I gave it 4 out of 10. Anyway. Next one. Let's talk about Mavropanos, or as we've found out, his nickname is Dino's. Dino's is his nickname. So anyone who's a Tommy Skinner fan, as I said, Tommy today, he's written in stars, isn't it? Dino's. So apparently, this one looks good. This one looks very good with Dino's. He apparently it's about 18 million quid. Apparently, everyone is looking. Everything's looking very positive. The Stuttgart centre back, formerly of Arsenal, played about half a dozen games for Arsenal. Again, we've done a little sort of like all you need to know about Dino's. He is he's a compromise between Moyes and Steinton. Apparently, Moyes is very made up with him. He's going to be very, very. He likes him. He likes him a lot, and so I can see this one happening. By all accounts, we're going to be signing 2 players in the next 72 hours, and I think it's probably going to be Kudus and Mavropanos, or it could be even 3 with Jesse Lingard. The conspiracy theorist in me thinks we will sign a couple before Sunday. They won't play on Sunday, but they'll be announced on the pitch on Sunday. It's almost like a softening effect because in case we get turned over, but we've got some signings. We haven't done that for a while, and I'd love that to happen. Russy B has given Dino's a 8 out of 10. Wow, that's a good one for Russ. If we don't get Dinos, another one we've been linked to is the Bayer Leverkusen centre back Pierre Hincapié. And according to football transfers journalist Dominic Schneider, he reported that the move to the Premier League remains on the cards of the 21-year-old. We've spoken about before. He's a centre-back who can play left-back and has represented Ecuador in the World Cup. I mean, he'd come in and clearly he would, in my eyes, would replace Cresswell / Agbona eventually. He's 21, and so very young, and can be molded into a very, very good defender. Bayern are aware of the interest in him, and will probably want top dollar for him. And it will remain to be seen what he's going to cost. Also, Liverpool interested in him as well. So there's a whole raft. There's a whole raft of players in that position we've been linked with. Right, what we got here? We'll talk about Ronnie in a minute. Actually, what's all this BS about the women's team becoming manager? Why not? Why not? Why not? I think the role of the England manager, regardless of whether it's men or women, is a very simple thing. Really, you've just got to be able to, you pick the best players in the nation. You've got them for 2 weeks. That's why Bilic was a really good international manager and was not crap. He wasn't a very good club manager after, because at the while, because he sort of, you have to be different with different people as a club manager. Whereas international manager, it's almost like you just got to get a good team spirit. She's done a cracking job with that women team. Look how she's transformed them. Why not, mate? Why not? We're 21st century, Ralph, man. 21st century. Who else? If he leaves, if Southgate leaves, who are you going to get? Who want the job? Potter's not young. Potter hasn't, I suppose, but then Gareth never had a league job before, did he? I don't know. How much left in the transfer kitty after Kudus and Mavropanos? If you don't go, for about another 25 million, I reckon, maybe. Off the top of my head. Get into the Greeks. Starting that is Scotty rated 10 out of 10. Seeing reports that Ajax have asked for 46, after going 35, and Lobo was 41. It's not massively Lobo. No, exactly not that. And again, that's the thing. We do. We do. Someone's going to say 46. We're always going a bit lower. I don't think that's massively different. 10%, about right, isn't it? I've given up trying to answer that on your show, GP. I think I might be banned, but I always enjoy your cutting comments. So I missed that one. So why not Harwood Bellis, Russ? He looks a good total package for your long future. Yes, he does, but I think we've got players you've got there, and I think Harwood Bellis is 21. I think Casey's just signed a new deal. He's 18. And I think someone like Dino's, if Dino's comes in, then I think he bridges that gap. I think Harwood Bellis wants to come in now and play first team football or be there or thereabouts. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit more. Personally, and I can't really speak because I'm a big lad anyway. Whereas I think Mavropanos, he's 6'4". Straight away, he'll be now. It's a balancing act. Definitely a balancing. I'm not saying that Harwood Bellis will be a good. I think he would be a good signing, but I'm more excited about Mavropanos because I think what he can bring now to the table. And at 25, you've got him for the next 7 years. Realistically, yes, you could have Harwood Bellis for another 7 years, but the likelihood is that you'd sell him in about 4 or 5 years' time for profit. But horses for courses in it, Danny, to be honest. Was awesome, can play left back as well, but can be expensive. I totally agree. I think he will be very expensive. West Ham Zone's aim, we bid 40 for Solanke. Swiftly blocked that news outlets. No, apparently we did. All accounts. Avoiding Moyes and went to, there is no way we would join him now. Everyone's talking to each other. How many times have changes when we got Souček and Sufa and Lingard? They were Moyes silence. The board deserves no credit. No one decent we signed is Steinman, and Moyes gets no credit. We're so fickle. Toby, you're funny. Right. The Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives this one a 4 out of 10. Can't see this one happening. I think Mavropanos is our man. Let's talk about this gentleman, Georges Mikautadze. Mikautadze. We'll call him George. But apparently we are interested in the FC Met striker this summer. According to a report from Le Sport, West Ham have joined the race to sign the 22-year-old forward, with Metz demanding £17 million for his signature. The Hammers are one of many clubs trying to sign the French-born Georgian international, according to the report. The 22-year-old has been on fine form for Metz last season and earned rave reviews for his consistently excellent performances. He bagged 24 goals and 9 assists, 29 goal involvements in 40 games for Metz last season, and played a key role in their promotion from Ligue 2 to Ligue 1. However, 23 of those goals and 8 of those assists all came from the French second tier. And obviously the Premier League is a massive jump up in quality, speed, intensity, even from Ligue 1, as we know. I mean, look how long it took someone like, say, for example, like Paqueta to get into the speed of the Premier League. Now, for 17 million quid, I mean, apparently, by all accounts, I mean, I don't know much about him, I'll be honest, but what we've been led to believe, he's strong, he's very quick as well, and these are the types of players we're going to be linked with now, with the Steinton effect. So I think there's going to be, where you should dismiss these types of links, these are the types of links where Steinton thrives in. He goes to different leagues and picks out talent. This is where the Pearl Diver comes in. Could he be another Pearl? He's got lovely hair though. What do we say in the chat? Frink on be my choice. Get a good shout. Good stats. I prefer to put my hands and clap than sign Lingard. We'll get turtle heading, my friend. Steinton will return to London tomorrow morning. There is a growing confidence that Kudus will be on a plane back with him. Wouldn't be lovely to get that picture again in the back? Actually, that's brilliant. Pretty close anyway, thank you. Looks half decent, probably tricky, and would be a proper West Ham forward, maybe worth a punt at 12 to 15. That's what I think. Diafra Saka came from the second division. You're totally right, my friend. Did he come from Rennes? I can't remember where he came from, but you're totally right. I think for me, there's that little bit of, I'd say you're probably right. 12 to 15 is, and it just shows how crazy the world is now. That's pump money now, isn't it? And for someone who's got, and as I said, look at his hairline. What a lovely head of hair he's got, young man. Such a, where did that pop in through? Harry Enfield in like mid-90s reference. No, I think he's, for me, I think he's a good shout. By all accounts, we've had our fingers burnt with strikers. I'm going to give this one 5 out of 10 because it's 50-50 in my eyes. But we've had our fingers burnt with strikers all the time. And, I could see him bring in someone like Georges in order to, as a relatively low risk in terms of the amount of money involved in bringing him in, maybe. I don't know. Was it Metz? Was it Metz as well? I thought it was Metz originally, but then I double guessed myself. Let's have a quick check on where's my sheet? Where's my sheet? That's Diafra Sacco. Where did he come from? Where did you come from, Sacco? It was Metz. Yeah. The reason why I got confused, he was on loan to Bologna. Not Bologna, but Bologna, in France. Yeah, he was at Metz. So, and then he went to Rennes afterwards. That's where it's got into the old head. So yeah, he did 144 appearances and 44 goals for Metz. So look, did well last time. If Euro was in 1966, we're now in 1993. Thanks, GP. Good, interesting. Have Chelsea cracked the 5 million mark for signings yet? I don't know. We'll come back to that question later. We sold him to Rennes. Oh, here he is. Look, here he is. Mr. I've got 2 computers. I can go on my laptop and talk to Russ at the same time. I'm on my own, mate. They've all fucked off. Literally this morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Just landed. Portugal. I'm on the top for 10 days. Just me and the dog. I'm going to be on it every night. So what the fuck am I going to do otherwise? I've watched all my Netflix. Actually, I just started watching the At Home with the Furies. That's quite funny. I'd have that's my brother, by the way, just in case. It's just I'm not just randomly talking about my anyway. Well, I'm still knackered from Disney, mate. I have Lingard for depth from the bench and going to need it in Europe, but it's the board can provide the fans with some happiness. Please give us Kudus. Kudos to Kudus. And that's I always say kudos to you. So that's like it's written in the stars, mate. And he does that. He's pictured him doing that. Anyway, who is next? Let's crack on like Donkey Kong. Next, we have got Ronnie. We spoke about Ronnie Edwards. We spoke about this guy before, actually. We're one of apparently 3 British clubs who are interested in signing a Peterborough centre-back, Ronnie Edwards, according to BBC Sport. It published reports on Wednesday that the Hammers could battle Bournemouth and Rangers for the 20-year-old's signature. He's been on the Premier League radars for a while, and someone reported back last year that Sir Alex Ferguson urged Man United to sign Edwards in 2021. He's a Harlow boy, if I'm right, if I remember. So local lad, and he's absolute quality. We know the hunt for a centre back continues. We know Dino's looks like it's going to be happening, but someone like Ronnie. I mean, he's in the same bag as Harwood Bellis in my eyes. Maybe a little bit more further down the line in the fact that he's been playing consistently for Peterborough for the last couple of years now. I personally could see him going to a London club, or even doing something like Daniel Barnard. Barnard did who was the Arsenal centre back, went to Sunderland, and then could well be coming back to the Premier League. I know we were looking at him, and several other teams are looking at him. Ronnie's a good. Seems a nice guy as well, by all accounts. I'm going to come back to your one later, but that's why I've started, mate. We're going to have a new live show for 10 days cooking with Russ. Well, if I'm going to cook for myself, Uber Eats with Russ, Deliveroo for Russ, Deliveroo roulette every night. Heard a few clubs been sniffing around for him. They have indeed. He's a good player. If he's like Duncan, sign him. I'd take Edwards. Looks superb. Heard from Talksport that Lucas Hacks are in staying Jim White's information. 117 double tap. I have no idea what that means. What's the point? Don't play our youngsters. GP. It's a different era now, isn't it? It's a Tim Steindl era. Well, perhaps it's going to be serious for us. Fabrizio confirming what X said. Paqueta move is on the verge of collapse. But that's the trouble, Potato. Man, when they say that, sometimes it then goes, and then he signed, it's like all smoke and mirrors. And people talk to people, and, agents can be talking to Fabrizio saying, put this out. Paqueta's, because we want to force the move in, and we don't want him to come out and, say he wants to leave. We want it to be amicable and stuff. So, it's bucketing down rain today. Not looking forward to the Fire Cup game tonight. Going to get soaked, or the FA. Are you talking about FA or the FAAI? I don't know. Harry, I almost had a stroke reading that. I thought I did. I was like, am I reading that properly? So the other day, I was like, we was seeing Grease the musical at the Dominion, and I started to get like an optical migraine, and I thought I was having a stroke, and it wasn't. I was just having an optical migraine. I was like, anyway. Here we go. Heard on Talksport that Lucas Paqueta is staying. Jim White's information from inside the club. 108. Okay, that is nothing like what you said up there. You said 117 double tap. What? Harry, have you started drinking for Friday early, mate? Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, but also Jim White's information. We know who's his main source of information is. So again, pinch of salt, smoke and mirrors, all that type of stuff. Russy B has given old Ronnie boy. That's what we want. And the last time we had a run down East London, he tore up the place, isn't it? One of the craze. Ronnie. And we need to get Reggie now. Oh, can we get Reggie Blinker from the old winger, play him centre back? Ronnie and Reggie at centre halves. Oh, could you imagine? I'll give him 5 out of 10. Ronnie and Reggie. Brilliant. And we'll finish with this gentleman. Apparently, an unnamed club have gone in with an offer for West Ham target Roland Salai, who's on the books at German club Freiburg. The Hungarian international winger is joining interest this summer. It's been claimed that West Ham and Rennes are talking to Freiburg about him. They're not letting go cheap apparently, and they want a price that they deem to reflect his true value to greenlight a move. And a bid has gone in from, according to the Blind daily newspaper in Germany, and it's come around 20 million euros. It's unclear which club have put the offer in. Last Salah made 27 appearances across the course of the injury-interrupted season last year. Welcome to West Ham. You're injured. He's clocked over 100 appearances in the German Bundesliga for Freiburg, and has also played club football in Hungary. Don't know why I said with an accent. Hungary, Italy, Cyprus, and Germany. So a bit of a journeyman. But again, one of these types of players you can see Steinton being really interested in. And I don't know if he's a left wing or right wing, but again, if he's a left wing, you could see, or even a right wing, you can see as a replacement there for or some extra bodies for either wing. If this whole idea of going Boeing being pushed up front happens. And Freiburg, you'd imagine that Steinton would know about him. So it's just interesting. I've got Reggie and Ronnie Russ. Yes, nice. My best mate's sister-in-law, her two boys are Ronnie and Reggie. Brilliant. The FAI, okay, Irish League. Do you know what? I watched that on the telly the other day. They had that one of the game. They had Dublin versus something. Dublin versus, I don't know. It was in the big game, the All Ireland game. It was Gaelic football, and it just looked mental. It just looked mental. They were kicking things. They were going between the posts. They weren't going for goal. They were dribbling the ball. They were ticking up. It was like absolutely mental. Salah was reported as someone Moyes is keen on. Was we interested in him last year? It does sound familiar. Certain names sound familiar. Got your message. Is that you, just Adam? Thank you. We'll see what we can do. We'll have a look. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I think it does sound familiar. My daughter's having a baby today, and she's calling him Reggie. Congratulations, Sean. Is that your first granddaughter? Or grandchild, grandboy, granddaughter, grandchild? Your first? Yeah, you know what I mean. Congratulations. Great to see. Is it your first? If it is, congratulations on becoming a granddad for the first time. If it's not, congratulations on being a granddad again. It'd be fantastic, and hopefully mum and baby will do well, mates. Is it a cesarean or a C-section? I don't know. Why am I asking these questions on it? Will you ever do a summer request? What do you want? Let me know. We were in for Alves 2 last Jan. We were in for fucking everyone last year. Seventh. Fucking hell. Good luck to you, son. I mean, size in the chat. I'm one of me. We're like on one of 5. And even that was a lot. Any news on Jay Lings? Looks like it's going to happen, mate. I think it looks like we're interested in Attila. Yes, we were. Attila, because I called him the Hun. Yeah. Salah's the left back. He was and left centre back as well. Good player from Fenerbahce. Nothing ever happened of him. I bet you forwards telling stories to the kid about the wonderful white horse fight. Well, I mean, it's 7 kids, 7 grandkids. Fucking hell, so. Fair play to you. Salisi, I'm going to give 3 out of 10. But then you don't know. All these just random numbers. Do they really anything? No, they don't. We're up to 153 players we've been linked to now. I didn't download the picture, unfortunately. But 153, that is mental. And obviously, we haven't bid for all of them. We've signed 3 of them. We signed Sean Moore, JWP, and obviously Edson Alvarez. Potentially, within the next 48 hours, we should have maybe 2 more signings, if not 3. I'm on the opinion that we're going to sign them in time. Not in time to play, because we've missed that. But I think we'll sign them in time to be announced on the pitch. I'd love that. I love a good player. We haven't had a good player announcement for ages. I think we announced Cornet on the pitch after we signed, because he signed him on late on the Friday. The best one we ever did was Alex Song, because we was at the old ground and we was having our pre-match briefing, and Paul and the head of media at the time, like a Paul Stringer, he sort of said, right, It was all secretive, right? We've literally just signed Alex Song on loan. I was like, wow, that's fucking, obviously on loan from Barcelona. Like, fucking hell, that's a good move. That's brilliant. No one knows about it. We've done it all really quickly. So I think Tottenham was sniffing around, but we're gonna reveal him on the pitch before kickoff. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. That was really good. That was the best one. What we got here? Hi all, just in have we signed him? Not yet, Johnny, but I'm thinking we might have a busy couple of days. Yo, Russ, just like what I missed, would be surprised if we go for and get Kudus if Pack stays. According to what we've been led to believe, Aches Barley, the Kudus deal is not dependent on the Paqueta deal. That's to say, it might not change, but that's what we've been led to believe. They're not, they're independent of one another. So we'll see. Are we not interested in Chalobah for 21? We were looking at Chalobah, Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea, but nothing new about that one. My sister's having her first baby December, already ordered the baby West Ham kit. That's the race, isn't it, to get the West Ham kit on. When Tim flies out, it's a good sign, so hoping we get the Kudus done deal. But yeah, you're right, Scott, but he did fly out yesterday, and all the Paqueta stuff is happening today. So you would be assumed, if you're the technical director, you'd be over the Paqueta deal, so you know what's happening with that one. So maybe, as I said, that's why I think it could be one or the other. It's not one or the other. Do you think Moyes will play Alvarez? Yes, I do, but I don't think he'll play on Sunday. Russ, do you think we might possibly see JLP maybe in a second? I think he starts. I think he starts on Sunday. I think he comes in. I think Paqueta moves up to 10. I think Fornells gets dropped. I think that's what's going to happen. But anyway, me and Anton will be doing our sort of our predicted 11 show, which will go out on Sunday morning. And so me and him will be battling that out, I'm sure. We might even do a live. We don't even thought about it. Hi, Russ. Budgie's been supporting the Ghanaian, and he has a sister who is a Ghanaian princess. Sign Kudus. There we go. Small world. Love it. Any news on Marston? No new news. Obviously, the last thing we heard was we're waiting for Chelsea to okay the deal before then Cresswell can go to Wolves. But again, do not know. If Bayern moves a striker, we absolutely need a right winger. Then Kudus deal makes sense. It does. And so does someone like Salai, so there's someone like Gonzalo Borges. So you can see the motions in play there. Howdy Vito. Russ from I'm not from Sydney, of Morning Church, but you're Vito from Sydney. Up the hammers. Let Paqueta go. He makes too many simple errors. Loses the ball cheaply. Ricky's mate. What do you think? Nah, mate. Nah, he's a class player, and he loses the ball because he tries stuff. Same as Ben Rama. Ben Rama used to lose the ball and still does because he's trying stuff. And I think it's taken not just Paqueta, it's taken most of the West Ham side that 6-month period to sort of get on the same level. I'm surprised they haven't gone all out for him. Actually, I was about to say that, Arthur, with the De Bruyne thing. You're totally right, though. They've probably got too much cover. They can move people around. They can move Foden in. They're looking at Jeremy Doku for replacement for Mahrez. Bernardo Silva just signed a new deal. I think if Silva had left for Barcelona, I think they'd probably look to bring in Paqueta, in all honesty. Would end up bench warming, no player plays 5-6 straight. I'm pleased we'll be off. We'll wait and see it. Fabianski needs to reflect upon how Fornells reacts to constantly being dropped. Well, I think Fabianski is not starting against Bournemouth, against Chelsea, particularly the way he behaved. I'd have told him to F off, in all honesty. Now my wife has texted me 20 minutes later that they've landed. You met Andy from CBC. Well, yeah, they've lost Mahrez and Gundogan. Yeah, they have. Gundogan, I think, was something they always sort of looked at. I mean, the thing is, they've got Cole Palmer. I mean, Foden hasn't hardly any game time last year. They'll always find, but they do that. That's what I mean. They're ruthless. We're not ruthless as a club. We will sort of hang on to players until they basically fall apart or want to piss off and go like Cresswell. Man City are ruthless. Next summer, they'll probably go, right, okay, do you know what? We need you gone, he's gone. We can improve that position. So yeah, they do it every season. Hope Moyes gives Mbappe the second half if Antony is playing on Sunday. We shall see. We got here. Has the whole Fab interview come out? I don't think so. Can't see how Fab didn't see it coming. I mean, it's like he's not that naive. That was my whole point. You know, if you want to see what people are referencing, I had a bit of a rant on whenever it was. I just come off like a massive travel back from Disney, and I saw this, it just pissed me off. You know, the whole Fabianski thing. You know, we signed it months ago. You know, he was signed to. Was it almost 2 seasons Arriola was signed before on loan? Obviously, we made it permanent. On the loan, you could assume that I'm going to be number one. He's only a loan signing. Then we go out and spend 20 odd million on him. I can't remember how much we spent on Arriola to make the deal permanently. And then he should have thought, well, I'm only on they offered me a 1-year extension contract, not a 2-year deal, one with a 1-year option. So sort of thought, you know, my numbers up here. And it didn't really happen last year, and now it's happened this year. He's got, and he's like, he was told on Thursday, and he said something like, "I wasn't treated with respect it deserves." It's like, how many other ways can you tell someone they're being dropped? He was told on Thursday, and as I said, do you want me to, I don't know, take him out to dinner, nice pie and mash, candlelit supper, you know, give him a little massage and whisper in his ear? You're getting dropped on Sunday. It's not Sunday. It's like, what can you do? Idiot. Really wound me up. Particularly as I'm one who really, I mean, Scott's a massive, you know, Arriola fan. And we always sort of banter about who's better, and same as Matt on you know, Stato and stuff. Hopefully we get Stato back soon. He's sorting his computer out. And so I've always been an advocate of Fabianski. And actually, he just totally discredited what I usually think about him. Absolutely right, Russ. Fab's behaviour disgraceful pension. I think Kudus been a save lane. That's Paqueta, good pairing. I agree. And so, I mean, you see when Paqueta plays with Ben Rama and Emerson, those three have sort of a bit of an understanding already. So if you add Kudus into that, it'd be good. Just batched it for 4 weeks while wife was in France. I hope you eat better than I do, Russ. I had sandwiches just about every day. Well, I'm the family chef. I'm the family cook. So we'll see. Maybe shoulder problems have caused Dill to stay stagnant. Possibly. Do you think Graceful stays? No, I don't, mate. Particularly with Gary O'Neill at Wolves. Your rants aren't swearing enough. I'm considered of my rants. But remember, we all went mad over the quote put out about Scammy. Then the whole interview came out. And yeah, totally right. And if we did, fair enough. But it's just that the whole thing hasn't come out. That was different, though, because, you know, it was isolated sort of bits, not than the whole video interview. And this was like a fair, you know, a good few minutes this interview went on for. So there we go. You want sweary Irish Tommy this time? We'll have the late show tonight. I imagine it might be Irish Tommy, if not be me. And we'll get some people on. So we'll have a bit of a giggle tonight. It'll be at 10 o'clock. So keep an eye out for that. We'll just sell Ben Rama if someone came for 25 minutes for him. Yes. I want Phil Mitchell type rants threatening Gonzo. And I'll tell you another thing. Claret and booze. And Taylors were just as bad, and he started the next week. Good point. Yeah, good point. But I think he's dropped now, Scott. I think Arriola's time. Arriola's shirt to lose now. If we want to get Kudus over the line, we need to go shopping with your lady, Russ. That's how summer transfers work for us. I know. Well, I can't. She's away for 10 nights. Anyway, Russ, yes, Rich Jones is that injured. Very good, thanks. It's good for us. Wanted the whole season, did not say anything. That's what I mean. He waited a whole season. He could have eaten, you know, by all accounts, he wanted to leave. He wasn't guaranteed football, and he was part of the summer exodus that was believed was going to happen. And I thought he's been acting like an absolute professional all the way through. Absolute professional. We need more effort than Jeffrey. There we go. We need a left winger. Benny isn't consistent enough. I totally agree. And Benny's not even a winger. He's on Aswich coming back. He's going to Inter Milan. Inter Milan are going to sign him, all accounts. Realistically, who's the last striker we signed that suited us apart from Zamora and Ashton? Don't think so. I don't think any. Honestly, I think, as I said, I think the best strikers we've had in the last, well, since the move, say, for example, have both been converted wingers. And that's why with the whole thing about Bowen potentially being moved up front, it's worked twice before. It could work a third time. Moyes might just do another bit of. I mean, you look at the players that he's Moyesified, for the better of the cause. The likes of Antonio was Moyesified, Arnautovic was Moyesified. And I think to some extent, Fornals was, in terms of what he came in for. He came in as a tricky 10, and he was made to more of a rugged player. So who knows? Pretty impressed with Paquetá. Me too. He's been phenomenal, I think. Part of me wonders whether he knew that this deal wasn't going to happen anyway. And he didn't want to burn his bridges just in case. Because we've been talking about this for the last week and a bit. And deals have gone in, bids haven't. Apparently, they've literally just put one bid in and they never came back with another bid. So, but City always do that. Did the same thing with Declan Rice. They said, right, this is the bid. We're not paying anymore. West went, all right, fair enough. Moyes has said Alvarez are available. They might be available for selection. They're both fit, but whether they play is another thing. And actually, we'll bring you all the summary from the David Moyes press conference very, very shortly for Hammers headlines. So keep an eye on that. Victor Urbina, great player. Great player. Great player. Anyway, guys, I think we'll start against Chelsea. I think Moyes will play the keys for City. I don't think it's the case. I think you've got to just do one or the other. I think you can't chop and change like that. There's a level of consistency now. We're not playing in European games until sort of never 6 weeks, something like that. So you've got a 6-week run of just playing. And I think it's important to have that consistency, particularly in the Premier League. Anyway, if you like what we do, give a like, give it a comment, give it a share, my friends. I'll be back later on with Hammers headlines, taking you through the David Moyes press conference, and then maybe a bit of a cheeky late show later on tonight. What else am I going to do? So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, my friends. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Have a lovely rest of the Friday, and we'll get back to you very, very shortly. Keep an eye on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and select all. Much love. Bye-bye.